Hello everyone and welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name's Michael and I'm bitten by a radioactive book. I have been reading a lot of comic books lately, reading through Marvel's books and DC's new Rebirth series, but I want to return to reading way more fantasy and science fiction books, and so I'm currently reading 9 books at the same time. What do you know? So let's get into them. First off, I'm reading Redemption Arc by Alistair Reynolds, the second installment in his Revelation Space series. I really like the combination of interesting ideas about societies and their developments in the future, the scientific ideas he has, the unique characters he has. So there's a lot to like. It's not the easiest of reads, so I'm taking my time, but it's an awesome series and I really enjoy it. Next off, I'm failing pretty hard on a buddy read with Catherine Barker, who some of you might still know. She's a Serbian former booktuber and author, and we're reading The Lascars Dagger together by Glenda Lark, and I'm way behind, I think, so I need to leave a comment. I'm like 35% through it. It's a book about a priest, and the priest is some kind of spy for his superiors and has the task to look after a young prince and princess, and somehow he gets into the possession of a strange dagger that he keeps throwing away, but the dagger has some kind of connection to him and it always returns to him. And from there on out, yeah, a very interesting story unfolds that I didn't expect, and I'm really enjoying it. Next up, I'm reading the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin for the first time. I thought it would be like a really awesome time now. The series has a lot of hype, of course, with the book winning the Hugo Awards. The second installment, Obelisk Gate, just won the BookTube SFF Awards, and the third book comes out in August, so it's a perfect timing for me to get into this series. So far, I'm like 30-ish% through it. It is the story of 3 women. One of them, like a mother that lost her child, maybe due to her own husband, and now she's after the husband and her still one living child. We're seeing a young girl who comes into her abilities as like a kind of stone former. Origins, they're called in this world, and they are very dangerous because they can make like huge earthquakes when they're not like schooled, and so we're seeing her way with her guardian, some kind of trainer, and we're seeing a young woman who is also like an earth shaper, and she's like trained already and is on a mission with like a superior. And yeah, all of these strings are somehow connected. I have a very crazy theory of how, and I'm really looking forward to see if I'm right or if I'm completely out of it. Next up, I'm reading a classical cyberpunk series. It's City of Golden Shadow, the first installment in Ted Williams' Otherland series. It has a plethora of characters who are all interacting with each other in various different parts of the internet, how Ted Williams imagined it in the 90s. So that's kind of interesting, the things he thought about, like virtual reality and how everything is connected. This book taps into so many different things. It has like high fantasy elements, it has typical cyberpunk elements, there's Egyptian gods, so yeah, everything is flowing into each other into a very interesting mix. I've read that before when it came out originally, but I never continued with the whole series, and now I want to read the whole 4-book series. Next up, we have Morro by L.L. McNeil. This is an indie author, and I'm very excited to have discovered her, actually. So for indie authors, there's a tip. Apparently, you should follow me on Twitter and then your book should be about dragons and airships, because that's what Ally McNeil did. And normally I'm like, oh, an author is following me, and normally it's like people who write paranormal romance, and I'm like, yeah, you might be a nice person, but I'm not into paranormal romance, you know. Yeah, but if you write about something that I'm totally passionate about, and dragons, airships, and then yeah, apparently I buy your book, so that's a good bet. So I did that, and so far I'm like 35% through it, and it's awesome. I really love it. You can see it's a debut novel, no shame there. But there are very unique ideas about races. It's very fast-paced action. I like it a lot, and I can't wait to continue with it and see where the author is taking the story. I will talk more about it when I've finished it. But so apparently, and that is something that tells you about the struggle of indie authors. When I bought the book, I think I was like the 97th person to buy the book, and like 2 or 3 weeks later, she reached like 100. And this book deserves way more than 100 buyers. So if you enjoy dragons and airships, awesome characters, unique ideas, still a classical tale, action, buy this book. And as we're talking about new and interesting, fresh authors, there's Godblind by Anna Stevens. This is one of the highly appreciated, I don't know if I already appreciate it, but at least I expected it, releases or debuts of the year. It's Godblind. It's I know next to nothing about it. It's a grimdark book. I just only started it. The tone is like really dark, and I really look forward to it. It is compared to like Mark Lawrence, Joe Abercrombie, Your Grimdark, like staples, and yeah. I have no clue what it's about. Apparently the red gods return. There seem to be red gods and other gods worshipped by different people. And already in the beginning we have an upheaval in like a tribal-esque Northman culture where the red gods are worshipped. And it's exciting. I'm really excited for it, and I hope to read more of it during the next couple of days. Okay, now let's brace for the facepalm moment of the video. I haven't read Philip Pullman's his Dark Materials series. Yeah, get out of here, Michael. What are you even doing here on BookTube? Yeah, like, never read it. I saw the movie, which is supposed to be bad. I don't know. I was neutral about it. But yeah, everybody told me that I need to read this series, and as this series is like a perfect series to read it like in fall or during Christmas, what am I doing? I'm starting this series right now in the summer when it's hot. I'm doing reading right, people. I'm doing reading right. I think I don't need to tell you what this is about, so most people will know that series and will be like, oh yeah, that's a thing happening, Michael. Okay, what are you reading next? The Lord of the Rings, maybe? Dune? I've read both of those. To my credit, I've read both of those. Next up, I'm reading Die dritte Macht, The Third Power, which is the first installment in the Perry Rhodan Silver Edition series. Oh, well, I think if you saw my channel, you might have, yeah, hear me talking about Perry Rhodan. Perry Rhodan is, if you don't know it, a German, like, ongoing Penny Dreadful series. It started in the 1960s, in 1963, and it's still running. So at the moment, we are running up towards issue 3000. That should be released, I don't know, somewhere next year, maybe the year after, I'm not sure. Yeah, so it is a series with like a huge history, and I've dipped in and out of the series like in the 90s, in the early 2000s, stuff like that, but I've never like read like the whole thing which is large, as you can imagine. And so something what the author started at some point was like to give like not summaries, it's real books, but it's not like all of the Penny Dreadfuls just shoved into another format. It's like taking the first 5 or 6 of them and then writing them kind of again into a novel format. That's what's happening. And from this is called like the silver edition, and it's like real books that they are really cool. I'm not prepared. Of course I'm not prepared. I think I even have 1 or 2 of these as original ones. They are awesome. They have holographic covers like the physical books have. Of course I'm reading this as an ebook because I'm Michael and I'm bitten by a radioactive ebook. So yeah, and this is really like the beginning of the story, and I wanted to go there and do that whole thing. So I'm reading it. I'm 70% through and I like it. And last but not least, I'm reading The Magic of Recluse, the first book in the Recluse saga, or Saga of Recluse as it's actually called, by L.E. Modesett Jr. L.E. Modesett Jr. is an author I wanted to get to since forever because he like pops out books like rabbits do other rabbits. I'm going with that. I'm owning it. So the Saga of Recluse is like a series that has like 15-ish. As you can see, I'm not prepared. Again, 15-ish, 16-ish books already in it. Maybe 20, maybe just 13. I'm not sure. And it's about this island of Recluse where order and order magic is like worshipped, and everybody is like, yeah, very happy of just doing what they're told. And then there are some people who are like, screw that, we don't like this, why do we have to comply to everything, we want to rebel. And of course the ordered people of Recluse have an ordered way of rebelling. They throw them out for a couple of years and say, okay, go outside into the other world where all the chaos magic is and the bad people, and then go some adventuring and questing, and then either be evil forever or come back and be humbled by how bad the outside world is and become a happy robot citizen in our on our island. And yeah. So our main character, Laris, is one of these rebels, and he is trained with other people who are prepared for this journey. Yeah, I'm 20% through, and that's it so far. It's very interesting because the concepts of order versus chaos are like yeah, very like prominent in this book, and I think the author is really yeah, wants you to see he's not talking like outright evil and good, and order and chaos are different things. And I always enjoyed this concept. I first discovered it in Michael Moorcock's Elric and all the other Eternal Champions books. There's gazillions of them. I should do a video about Michael Moorcock at some point, people. Maybe that's going to happen. Okay, anyway, I'm rambling. It's like 15 minutes something. Yeah, other people are able to do a currently reading video in like 4 minutes. That's not me. I'm still here, still talking. So maybe I should go reading because I have 9 books that I'm reading. What am I doing here? Okay, people. Let's finish this. Let's finish this and get out of here. Okay, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of me, yes, there's more of me, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, I hope you get bitten by a really good book 2 or 9. Bye.